Alrighty, Sean, Katie, Sean. Katie, have you ever heard of Salem's Lot?
No.
Okay, never mind.
Is that the wrong answer?
Yeah.
Just looking at me.
No, so Salem's Lot was a very famous, I think it was a series, but I think it was a series where it was like 2 feature-length films. A bit like what It was originally.
Right.
And I think it was the 70s, late 70s, if I had to guess. Probably either 78 or 79. I can't quite remember. It was one of the films that our father made me and my older sister watch. But we only ever watched it once, as far as I can remember. And it was quite scary. Quite scary. I don't know if they remade it again earlier. Maybe a few years ago. Not entirely sure. But I know it's a Stephen King novel.
Okay.
And that's about it. That's all I know. I know roughly.
Is it witches?
No, you would think with Salem, but no.
Salem's Lot, like a parking lot. Is it like
No.
American? I don't know.
It's American, but it's not.
Like
It's
a
not about a
parking
parking lot. The Attack of the Killer Parking Lots. But we'll watch the trailer. Again, I don't know loads about it. I was young when I watched it. My dad was very irresponsible letting me watch this as a young person. But
I wasn't made to watch it.
No, because you are the precious one, I suppose.
The youngest. And
So yeah, let's watch. See what we can figure out.
I can't be doing horror.
Maybe we should preface this by saying I'm not an expert in this, you're not an expert in this, because people on the Wicked thing, when we reacted to the Wicked trailer, said I had to revise before I reacted. No, I'm not going to revise. I did all my revision as a teenager. Not
Never
doing
again.
It. No, I'm not going through that
I'm
again.
not going back there.
No.
And Max original.
Love has written stories about things that are so terrible. You'll run away until your brain won't remember.
Ooh. That's a good start.
Research.
That's a good start.
What are you researching?
So I know what this is.
Salem's Lot to play us.
Anything out of the ordinary in the lot recently?
Oh, it's him. It's you, Ron Greyjoy. Except the worst version.
There are some folks who had some kind of unusual experiences.
Oh, it's him as well.
I'm in full.
They used to tell us stories about this place.
You have no idea what you're getting yourself into here.
Annie, where are you? Answer me.
Oh, that's a killer repertoire.
Oh, it's like possessing him.
If we don't fight back, they'll come for us eventually.
Things have gone bad in the lot now.
Oh my. I think this looks rather good.
Does it?
Oh, that's cool. Oh, he didn't last very long.
No.
October 3rd, that's just round the corner. And it's our dad's birthday.
Make him watch
Yeah.
it. Payback.
Revenge. Any ideas?
No.
Vampires.
Oh.
It's vampires. At least I think it's vampires. It would be pretty silly if
I mean,
Look at that. That's cool. There's a couple cool shots. Yeah. As far as I know, it's vampires. Sort of.
okay.
Vampires is... I don't know if it's as typical as it's vampire. It's not like Dracula, you know.
Yeah, like possessed vampires or something.
Maybe. But all I can remember from the original is that there's a bit where they're all locked inside a building and they're all trying to break in. That's my only real memory. I think I spent
That's not very specific to this one movie, though.
No, but in my defence, it's because I spent the majority of the film hiding.
Behind a blanket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With Nicole on the other side, also hiding from her. So she probably doesn't remember.
So what is the actual name of the...
Oh, Jerusalem? Jerusalem? J-U-R... Jerusalem? Yeah, Jerusalem's that. But called Salem's Lot.
It's a Maine.
I can understand why you would think it would be witches, because, you know,
Salem.
Salem's famous for burning witches. So yeah, it's got the worst version of Euron Greyjoy in it. There's only 2 versions. Looks like children. I think
He
there
looks
might.
like the actor from The Boys.
I thought that initially, but it's not him. He's too young.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
When did they film this, though?
I have no idea, but I assume he's too young.
What, to be in this?
Yeah,
It looks like him.
maybe that was him in. He was in Pitch Perfect.
He was her dad.
Hmm.
Yeah.
He's Anna Kendrick's dad. That's how I'll address him from now on. He's
Yeah.
Anna Kendrick's dad.
He's a priest. If this kind of situation ever happened to me, I would find a priest and I would just chain myself to them. Like, protect me.
You'd be surprised at how not very effective priests usually are.
Uh,
It's normally more dangerous to be with the priest.
no, but they've got the cross and the holy water and...
We need to make you watch The Exorcist,
No.
and then you'll understand.
That's the one everyone warns me about. I don't want that one.
And by everyone, you mean our mother,
Yeah.
because that's what we do. Whenever we watch a horror thing,
I have
Katie
to go and get my
retreats
comfort
to the
from
to
our
our
parents.
parents' room.
And then I don't get comfort because they're
Yeah.
all busy laughing or like
They're all busy laughing, and they're
giving
going,
more ideas for
"Yeah,
things. we
make her
can
watch this, and make her watch this."
Oh, you don't want to watch The Exorcist because that that really got me, that one, and stuff like that.
Yeah. Mirrors. She's a famous actress, but I can't remember her name. She was also in one of the Conjuring films. No, she wasn't. She was in Annabelle. She was in Annabelle. The first one. With Anna Wallace, or whatever she's called. Anna Wallace. You know the one where it's the wifey and the bloke, and they get attacked by the 2 people, and one of them...
I've not seen the Annabelles.
I thought you did. I thought you went to
I've seen The Conjuring.
Oh, you went to see The Nun, didn't you?
Yeah, I've seen the Nuns and I've seen the Conjurings. I've not seen the Annabelles.
So does that boy with the robot become a vampire? That seems to be the thing, doesn't it? That's him there. Is
Like
that
he's-
him? That's him.
Like he's coming back to haunt them.
Yeah, and that's also, I believe that's him that was crawling on the kids.
Yeah, because it sounds like he's kind of after that kid. Like he's...
Oh, he's
Maybe.
wearing a different shirt. There is another set of hands there, though. Yeah, so maybe it's not just
The
him.
fact he's hanging out of like a little window like that, terrifying.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's him getting the wooden to like stake.
Him.
What?
Him.
What about him?
He was in something.
Oh, I thought you were
He
gonna
was
say
in
he's like-
something, and it'll come to me eventually. Probably not on camera. Yeah, so I assumed that this guy was going to be the main character.
Yeah.
I don't know who the main... Thing is, I don't know who the main character is. Maybe people will tell us in the comments, but
You can't remember from the first...
no. With it being
Maybe it's not a case of a main character. Maybe it's just a group of them and they're all just going through...
surviving a vampire apocalypse.
Yeah, and they all have to come together and it's just... That is... Ugh.
I love stuff like that. Look at that for a what you call resume.
Creator of the Conjuring universe and the producer of it.
I've already decided I like this because I love the Conjuring universe, and the most recent It's were really good. So I'm excited for this now. We're gonna watch this. Maybe we watch the original as well. The 79, so it'll be one of those films where you assume it's going to be terrifying, but because back then it was more about fear factor rather than jump scares, you'll probably survive that one.
You always say this, and I always find something to either jump at or get really freaked out at.
That's definitely
the same kid,
that's
isn't it?
definitely the kid, yeah.
It's like he's going
Although he's in a suit and tie, death suit. That's what it is, isn't it? So the kid dies. That's him in the coffin. You know, that's why he's in a suit there, because when you get buried, you get put in suits and dresses and stuff, don't you?
It looks like it's like his eyes get all weird and
Yeah.
thingy. Like he's forcing him to open it.
Isn't that a thing that vampires can compel people? That's a thing, isn't it? Doesn't Dracula do that?
I think it's something vampires can do. Yeah.
It was definitely in the Vampire Diaries, but I'm not using that as a
reliable source of information.
Yeah, because God, no, I don't care, Vampire Diaries fans. What's the Stefan? He's just a better version of Edward from Twilight, isn't he? That's who he is. That's what that character is. The writer of the Vampire Diaries went, I'm going to take this terrible vampire and make him at least half decent. I know everyone loves... Which one did I say, Stefan? Damon. Damon is the other one. Everyone loves him because he's a bad boy and he wears leather jackets and tight jeans with holes in them.
You liked Vampire Diaries.
I know I did.
Until the third season, and you stopped watching it.
I liked it. It's because I like the originals more than Vampire Diaries. Elijah and Klaus and whatnot. So does at some point this guy get bitten? Bitten? Do they get bitten? Or do they get possessed?
It seems like possessed almost, doesn't it? Because they seem ghosty.
Yeah, he falls into the darkness.
Metaphor.
We need a thing. We need a thing like a effect that comes up whenever there's a metaphor. We go metaphor, and then it shoots up on the screen. I'm going to work on that.
Is it going to be like a thing where like he goes and he's like to see if he's okay, and he'll shine a light, and there'll be loads of them there.
Yeah.
I'll just be like, ooh. He's got a cross on his cheek.
Yeah. Oh, that's weird. I wonder if that kid has to like beat him to death. It's going to be a traumatic experience for a child, isn't it? Beating your old friend to death.
Well,
There's a few times I wish I could have done it.
gotta do what you gotta do, kid.
Yeah.
Don't hesitate.
I wonder when this is set. I don't know American cars. Are these recent cars?
They look like older cars, I would say.
I didn't know if license plates had years on them. Oh, is that an eye?
I think so.
Oh, look, it is. Alright, so that's the geezer, and that's the guy who was burying the guy.
Has he got a stake in his chest? Go back. Find it.
Looks like he's been stabbed, doesn't
Is that like a stake in his chest?
Maybe. Oh my. I think if I remember, the zombies aren't quick.
Zombies.
Vampires aren't quick. In the original, I don't think they move particularly fast. So there is a comparison with zombies.
Right. Well, like they could outrun them.
Yeah, but I mean, it seemed later on like that guy didn't really. I mean, he was running full sprint, wasn't he? And he got snatched.
Yeah. He's got a stake in his hand. Is he going to kill it?
Oh, maybe.
It makes it seem like he's gone, he's dead, but that's a very like. Surely that's because it is making out as if he's the main character. That's a very kind of big plot point if he was to be killed.
Yeah.
At this point, it's shown you.
It's interesting that it's in a church as well.
Why wouldn't you want to go to a church?
Churches can be creepy.
I'm not joking when I say if I was ever in a situation like this, even if I didn't know what it was I was up against, I would find a church. I would just have a cross everywhere, a bucket of holy water, and I would just sit.
This is almost like the Game of Thrones thing. You know when they were fighting the army of the undead, that word meaning undead, yeah.
Uh-huh.
And they put all the people for safety in the crypt where all the undead things were.
Yeah.
A church is surrounded by a graveyard. So a zombie apocalypse, vampire apocalypse, if things start raising from the dead, is a church really the first place you want to be?
But the crosses,
It doesn't matter.
they'd protect me. I don't know. This seems like ghosty. If it was ghosty, I would go to a church.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see the guy who did the Conjuring universe and he loves these shots, doesn't he, where it shows you an image, guy turns, and then turns back, and the image is not what it seemed. We're surrounded by monsters.
Yeah.
That's his shtick, isn't it? Because that's every image in the Conjuring films is pretty much that.
That's what it gets you, though. It does get you because it's like, you're like, oh, thank God. And then all of a sudden it's like, no, and you're like, well, it gets me anyway.
It's good filmmaking, I like it.
I fall for it every time.
So is it James Wan? Because he's the one that did at least the first 2 Conjuring films. James Wan? Is that who it was?
Was he not the director?
Yeah. But it did say from the creator of the Conjuring universe and the producer of it.
Maybe it
Because
was.
that guy definitely didn't direct it, because it was a Spanish guy, I think, whose name I can't pronounce or even remember. But I like the look of this. I think, as an older gentleman now, I won't have to hide behind a blanket. You, on the other hand, maybe. But,
I'll just have me snood.
that's the question. If you know the place is like surrounded by vampires, why would you go out at night? Why would you be stood in the middle of the street at
Because
night?
maybe if it's like, it's making it seem like they're controlling them in a way, and they kind of have to like break out of it. Maybe it's that.
Yeah, that might be it. It might
Maybe
be
it's
like it might be like a compulsion thing. Either way, it looks good. I think it looks good. And Max has been quite good with its productions lately. The ones I can remember, anyway. My memory is not what it was.
That's very dramatic. Oh God.
Yeah. So is it a series or is it a film?
Makes it seem like it's a film, doesn't it?
Yeah. Might be a
Surely.
2-parter. Although it doesn't say it's going to be a 2-parter, so it might just be a film.
Or maybe they'll release like one film and then
Yeah.
another film.
It's interesting though, isn't it, that once again it's an old film / book that's been made again. Feels like a lot of the studios and production companies are really struggling to come up with their own ideas.
I feel like it's under the pretense of, oh, let's just give it like a modern boost.
Yeah.
But sometimes it doesn't always work, does it?
No.
I will say, I feel like it
It was really good.
good.
Because it was really... I wouldn't even know. It's not like... It's faithful to the original.
Yeah. But there was still like, it was different in its own way.
Yeah, it was done well. The only real thing that it didn't take from the book was the horrific sort of way to find was, how the kids all had to have sexual intercourse with Beverly when they were kids in order to do something to their innocence so that they could escape or some nonsense like that. It didn't do that. I just said some nonsense. All the Stephen King fans are really going to come for me now, aren't they? No, but yeah, the rest of it was really faithful. If this is really faithful and it's been, modernised, I think it'll be good.
I think you've just got to go into it without that mindset of comparing it. I guess it's good that you don't really remember the first one, so you don't have much to go off. I feel like there's going to be a lot of people probably going into this with like, the first one did this, the original did this. That's not as good as what the original. If you just go in with it being like, this is its own film, let's just see what it's like. Because I think it looks scary.
Yeah.
It doesn't take much to get me scared, albeit, but I think it does look scary.
It's a bit like when we reacted to the Evil Dead trailer and people were telling us how it had the originals, and then there was another one that Sam Raimi did. People really liked that one because it wasn't disrespectful to the ones that came before it, but it did add, to the legacy. And I think that's where these sorts of things need to just sort of walk a fine line, because there's a difference between adding something respectfully and being faithful, and going, that was terrible, we're better because we're in modern times. Which is
Yeah.
what a lot of films and remakes and stuff seem to be doing. And I think that's when things like, politics and all that stuff tends to come into it. Because people who are supposedly doing this, the obvious one being Rachel Zegler, is these actors will come out and they'll completely disrespect the original, despite the fact that it was made 100 years ago or whatever. And basically, in a sort of snide, backhanded way, say we are better because we are now.
Yeah.
I think you have to be careful when you're remaking films not to do that. It doesn't seem like this has done it. I don't know any of the...
It might be like... I don't know, it might be like, instead of a remake, it might be like a modern version of it. Because I guess it depends when it's set.
Yeah.
I would say it looks old. I don't think it's modern.
No.
If it's set around the same time, it might just be a remake, or it might be like a sequel. I don't know.
But sometimes that's good. I think some horror films that are starting to get set more in the past, but with modern day sort of filming technology, I think they're working better. Like The Conjuring's a prime example. Set during the 70s and 80s, and they have things like the cameras where they make the joke where he's got the big camera on his shoulder, hasn't he? And he goes, "Oh, it's so small and light."
Yeah.
But because that limits the characters, it makes the film...
It adds to the fear factor.
Yeah, and I think it's something that I think some studios are starting to catch on with.
It is the idea of limiting the characters, isn't it? Because it's like modern times, it's like your phone, you would like record it, or you would ring the plate, you'd do this, do that. But it's like in the times where you had those stupid phones where you had to like wait for it to go back, like so impractical. It's stuff like that. Like I think that adds to it. So
yeah, I think it's a good idea to sort of head back in time, but with modern filmmaking practices.
Like make the effects look a bit better. Like make the
the
cinematography looks a bit better.
Yeah,
Stuff like that.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Obviously, I know it must be awkward, trying to make an 80s type film because you've got to get the cars and the clothes and
You have to remember what it was
makeup.
like. And
Yeah, but I think it works. It works, so it's worth.
The thing is, the 80s, in retrospect, wasn't that long ago. It's not like you go into like the 1900s or whatever. It's like it's
Still 40 years ago.
I know it was still 40 years ago, but there's still people alive now that was alive in the 80s.
Yeah,
so it's a lot easier, I think, to get it accurate as opposed to it being like set whenever, like hundreds of years ago.
I think we'll watch this, and maybe we'll watch the original. And we'll let you be the judge of what's scary and what's not scary. That was such a sigh of resignation.
Because I'm done arguing with you. I tried so hard, but I don't want to watch horror films, and I've just accepted my fate. I know it's coming.
Let us know if you'd like us to watch this. Correct us on some stuff. Try and be nice, because again, some people were very, not horrible, but snobbish. They were a bit like, do your research, and I'm just reacting to a trailer. That's all I'm doing. Trying to see if it looks good. That's it. I'm not revising, for goodness sake. Don't give me homework.
Cut little cards. You have to like, yes.
What year did it come out? I don't know. Let us know some stuff. Like the video, subscribe, ding the bell to be notified when we upload. We upload every day. Anything else you want to say?
I don't even know. I never know what to say at the end of horror film trailer stuff.
How about this? How about on a scale of 1 to 10, how scary do you think this is going to be? And then when we watch it, you can feedback.
Based on the trailer, I would say at least a 7 out of 10.
My guess would be a 7.
Because it's like, I don't know.
It's got the creep factor, hasn't it?
It's creepy, so it's done. I think the trailer's done well. Whether or not it goes above a 7 or below, I don't know. I think it just depends on how they do it.
That's something I'm glad you've said that, because a lot of trailers give away a lot of jump scares.
Yeah.
And it's a bit sort of silly. Like, why would you give away your jump scares?
Like the best bits.
Like The Nun was terrible for that when we reacted to the Nun 2 trailer, and then we watched the Nun 2.
Yeah.
I knew when a lot of the jump scares were coming.
To be fair, I forgot a lot of it.
You did, but because I have a more developed brain than you, I was able to remember.
Is that just because you're older?
No, it was just an insult that wasn't true at all.
Completely unnecessary. Yeah, but I feel like this though it was more creepy as opposed to jumpy.
Yeah. It will be interesting to see if it goes creepy rather than jump scary, because I also feel like that's something that people are leaning more towards in more recent times, more creepy than scary.
I do a bit of both. Has the creepiness building up, because I think when you have like a film that's creepy to the point where it's like it gets your heart going without having to do the jump scares, I think it's really good. Like that bit with the kid where he's leaning out and he's grabbing it, like I could feel my heart beating because I'm like, oh my god, they're gonna grab, oh my god, they're gonna grab you, oh my god, like you get proper into it. So yeah, I wouldn't be annoyed if it was more creepy, mainly because I wouldn't die of a heart attack if it was just creepy.
You probably still would, because you'll be sitting there going
yeah, but I'd be more so if it was jumpy. I can't handle the jumps.
Yeah, I feel like your arms move more violently with jumps because you start karate chopping the air, whereas when it's creepy you just...
I remember watching The Nun, I'm pretty sure at one point I went like Gromit.
Yeah,
Looks like Gromit. Like, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for watching.